Episode 12 of Just Beavin coming your way right now. Andy, Drew, JP, usual crew back here with you, and an interesting background on my end. The Beaver being taken out in an ambulance, little precursor to what we have coming on here. Drew's been doing it the last couple of weeks with knocking on the doors. If you know what that means that his undefeated streak is over. He is now 6-1. Got the best of him this week. We'll recap that matchup and the rest of the slate as well. We got a great guest coming on. Frank Tummillo will be our Beavin guest of the day. And then we will preview our week 8 matchups. And of course, it's another episode. So we got to have more power rankings. Before we get into the recaps, though, fellas, how are we doing? Middle of the week. We've hit the midway point of our fantasy season, which is crazy to believe that we're already halfway through. The season's just flying by.
Yeah, after a rough start, things are looking up for Benjamin Haggerty. It might have been the coaching change of the year. Could be favorite for coach of the year after a 1-2 start with Kevin Parker. We're off to a great start with Haggerty, but more life centered. Things are good right now. I'm happy to be back for another episode. Happy to be back with you guys. Beef, what about you?
I'm just about to crash out, man. I just can't take this leak anymore, bro.
Rough
Oh,
week
boy.
in the
That's all I
league.
gotta say right now.
Drew's
Yeah, rough
going through
leak.
it.
That's all I gotta say. Well, stay tuned. We'll do something later. That's all I gotta
Oh,
say.
boy.
And I might go on a rant later.
It is Wednesday, so
Like I
you got to
said,
keep that in
it
mind.
is
Middle of the week,
Wednesday,
we're almost there. They're almost going to let us get to Friday, boys.
but I am happy for Yak. Good shit for getting the dub this week.
Hey, we'll take them any way we can get them. We'll talk about our matchup here in a minute. We're going to start at the top, like we always do, with the commissioner and mention Benjamin Haggerty. This offense continuing to hum on all cylinders. 167.54 to 86.82 against Kale, and this is a matchup that I got wrong. Yeah, way wrong on this one. Not even close. A down week for Kale. JP coming out and dominating with the help of his Ravens. Mr. McGuire, I'll let you kind of take the floor here. A convincing victory here in week 7.
Yeah, the Ravens, this stack is great. I got QB1 and RB1. Shout out to Ty, although it was a fair trade, and it could start to even lean a little bit towards Ty. Take that with a grain of salt, but I gave up Cedric Tillman in that. That's probably not a name many are familiar with, but I loved him coming out of Tennessee last year in comparison to Jalen Hyatt, and he had a great week over in Cleveland this past week. But Brock Bowers is great. Brian Thomas is already looking like a true wide receiver one with his elite, yes, I said elite quarterback, Trevor Lawrence. They look good. I had a dud. Jordan Whittington was out, got hit and was ruled out in the first 4 minutes of the game. I could have played Kareem Hunt and cracked a buck 90, but that's neither here or there. Bad week for Kale.
Yeah.
Losing both Aiden O'Connell at the start of the game and then Tyreek Hill dud. And even worse for Kale, which I'll talk about much, much later in the episode. But Chris Godwin going down with that season-ending injury, tough for him. But yeah, good week. I feel good about where we're at. So, and it was good to pick myself when you both took Kale, so that also helps.
Trying to be sharp, but man, did that not work out. Drew, your thoughts on the matchup, more in particular with Kale. He went from scoring 150 against me a week ago to 86. You talk about quite the swing. Definitely not what he was looking for. Obviously, the O'Connell injury didn't help. Losing Godwin's going to be unfortunate. Kelsey and Hill combining for 10 points. Did have some solid performances from Chase and Najee, but not nearly enough, Beaver.
Yeah, I know. As you see, we're just seeing now that Tyreek can't play without a good quarterback. I mean, as you see the backups come in, I don't think he's put up 10 points with the backup the last, 6 weeks? What was it? What week 2 I get hurt? Week 3?
Who are we
Oh,
talking
no,
about?
Tyreek. I
Oh,
was saying,
sorry.
I was just saying that he can't play with backup QBs.
Yeah,
Uh,
outside of the 1 week Tua fully played, he had 26. Everything else has
yeah,
been not good. Wide receiver 44, we're looking at it right now. So,
Hasn't had a
that's
touchdown
just,
since then either. He's not
yeah.
QB proof. There are guys like
no.
Justin Jefferson who can be. Unfortunately, Tyreek's just not one of those guys.
And,
Yeah.
and another thing I want to say is, his team is just on. If you look at Deontay Johnson, it's just like his team's like a locker room cancer. He just comes out and says basically that I don't know if you guys saw the interview. He basically said that, oh, I'm the big bad wolf, and I can't do everything by myself. Like I need some help over here. Bro, let's be honest. You're not him, bro. You're Deontay Johnson. We saw you over in Pittsburgh for 4 years, bro. You couldn't be the guy over there, so you got shipped off to Carolina. But granted, he is playing good in Carolina in one of the worst offenses in this league. But for him to come out and say that, that was a little egregious. But yeah, I call Kale's team now. I call him the grandpa team. He's got all the old hags on his team, and it's not getting better for him. So I'm glad his team's rotten, and I don't feel bad for him. But yeah.
There you have it. Pure domination from JP in week 7. He improves to 5-2. And how about this one? Not one that we really saw
all got
coming.
wrong.
Shout out Clayton Bigsby. First win for Luke as his head coach. The Bigsby's Bandits improve to 3-4. Huge victory. And guys, I think this is what we were talking about last week. We have this panel discussion, and JP made a good point after we were done recording. It was probably the best discussion we've had all season. A true discussion about Luke and his team and his roster, going 151, 155 the last 2 weeks. Comes out this week with 160. His top 3 receivers went to work, really. Higgins, Pickens, or I should say that includes Zach Ertz being a receiver. Good work for him as the tight end, but those guys were great. Obviously, you look at the main factors, Allen, Robinson, Hall. And like I said, I'm just happy for Clayton Bigsby. First win as the coach. I know he got brought on. The offense has been incredible since Luke hired him.
It's not absolutely insane.
Yeah,
firing
the
on
offense
all
has
cylinders.
It's just bad matchups.
Yeah, I just want to say, just way to keep responding. I mean, he's had 3 weeks now, 150 plus points. Can't get the win. Finally got over the hump this week. I mean, his players are obviously fighting for that playoff spot and showing that they can fight. I just love the fight from these boys, and his team's proving me wrong. So
I gotta Joe Mixon playing 3 full games being the running back 19 is freaking crazy.
He's awesome. I have him in a redraft league, and he might be a league winner for me.
He's gonna be a league winner this year because he fell way later than he was supposed to. Well, I shouldn't say supposed to, but he's outperforming his draft stock tremendously.
The one thing we said though about Luke's team, and we'll say it every week, if you look, his 3-headed goat had a combine of 80 points. Maybe that's a little egregious. Yeah, that was egregious. 70 points, maybe 69, something
about
like
70,
that.
about 70. We'll call it 70.
Yeah, 70. Yeah. So I mean, if those 3 score 70, I don't see him losing at all. And
21 carries for Bijan is awesome. So
that's amazing. They're finally giving him the workload that he deserves. Yeah,
even in a blowout, they were still giving him the work.
But if you scroll down to him, not dissing his team, but as you see that super flex play and those 2 flex play at the bottom, I don't know. I'm just not liking it. And Watson just tore his Achilles. I don't know who's going to play.
That was a gross injury.
It was gross.
I hate seeing that.
Yeah,
rubber hand looking.
It's so gross.
And just not even that. Just the fans cheering that he got hurt. You just don't want to see that from anybody or any fans. I mean, frick, if we had Fields hurt last year, I don't think I'd be cheering if he tore his ACL or Achilles. Maybe other fans would, but I wouldn't be. That's terrible. But it'll be an interesting week to see what Luke does this week. Granted, too, he hasn't had any guys on the bye yet, so it'll be fun to see what he does. I shouldn't say fun, but I wonder what he's gonna do at the Superflex. So
yeah, no, it'll be interesting. And you look at guys. I want to talk about Cam's team too. Deebo Samuel with that illness, he's hospitalized with pneumonia. I mean, that's no joke, and that really does stink. That hurt him. Jalen Waddle, similar. We just had this discussion with Tyreek Hill, right? It doesn't help that Miami doesn't have a quarterback right now, and those guys just have been tough to go with in fantasy. A goose egg there, but you look at the running backs. That's got to be a good sign. The running backs, and then you look at the quarterback position as well, getting into it with Jared Goff. Those are good things to take away, and I always try to say that with guys losing. It's you always got to try and take something away. Aaron Jones was great. So was Goff. Good running back play for Cam Boyer. Just ran into a buzzsaw this week. Luke was fantastic. That's all.
Let me add one more thing to this. Are we worried about Smith Najibba and Waddle yet, or no? Still play it by ear.
JSN, yeah. Because you would think new coordinator. Yeah. I don't know though. We'll see what happens with my guy DK with injury. I don't know. Some people are already ruling him out, saying week to week. I haven't looked into it.
I believe he is going to be week to week, and I doubt he'll play this week. Well, actually, they're playing Buffalo, and they kind of need to win this game. So actually, I was going to say I doubt he plays this week, but I'm definitely concerned about JSN. I wasn't a JSN fan with him coming out of school. I thought he was overrated. I had him as the wide receiver 4 that year. A lot of people had him as the wide receiver 1. Unfortunately, my wide receiver 1 was Quentin Johnston. So, I mean, take what I say with a grain of salt, but
yeah. The one I am really worried about though is Waddle. If you go to his numbers, he has not had one good game this year, even with Tua. Like, okay, maybe first week I lied, but after that he's been dud, 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 dud. I don't count 8 points as a good week for
No,
him.
I mean, no
For
one
him,
does.
for him, I'm expecting at
When
least
you're
12.
below your projection, I don't think it's a good week. So
Yeah, I
Right.
mean, and seeing him have
it's sad we're in a world though where Waddle's getting projected 9.73, 9.68. It's tough to look at.
and to see that he's projected 1371 this week is just madness. Granted, Arizona defense is not good,
I
but he
think
still
Tua's
has.
coming back this week.
Allegedly,
Yeah.
we'll see. That's what
Allegedly.
they say. That's what they
Making it
say.
tough and pick 'em, boys. I hate the
He could,
fact that we don't know
yeah.
that before Thursday. I don't
I
know where to
know.
go there.
I mean, he
But
could be playing with his eyes closed for all we know.
yeah, no, we will. That'll be a wait and see situation. It's good to know on Tua to see his health and anyone who owns any Miami guy. I mean, I have Devon A-Chain. He played okay this past week, but even he is nowhere near the player that he normally can be in fantasy and in real life when Tua is there. I know he's not the gunslinger that some other guys are in this league, but he manages and he runs that offense extremely well. He's the perfect guy to work with all those quick playmakers, get the ball in their hands and let it go. So that's a tough thing to look at. And for Cam Boyer, like we said, just ran to a buzzsaw. Luke was fantastic, and it's a much earned win for Luke. He deserved it after the last few weeks. As we move on to a game where we knew it was going to be rather interesting in terms of how little one would score compared to the other. Did we have last week where we guessed how many points Brady would score? Or was that Dade tie?
It was tie. It was Brady and tie.
Brady and tie, not Dade.
This
Okay.
is what we guessed. Brew trying to be a smart ass. Excuse my French. Guessed 55.74.
Not too far off.
I guessed 57.6. And Andy, our closest and winner, guessed 68.4.
Hey, there we go. Closest to the
All
pin.
right.
I like it. If it was Price is Right, though, I don't think I would have won, right? Because you can't go over in Price is
Can't
Right.
go over. Can't go over.
Yeah.
Price is Right.
But hey, closest to the pin, we'll take it. For Matt undershooting his projection, this is another one of those scenarios and situations where you didn't have to have your best week based on who you're playing. A win's a win. You're going to take it either way. You look at those top three, that tells the story. Baker Mayfield, despite that loss to Baltimore, ended up being a high scoring affair, so he benefited from that. James Conner, 100 plus yards on the ground. Josh Jacobs, he's been awesome the last few weeks as well. Those guys really took off for Matt, and it's always tough. It's you're up a creek without a paddle in Brady's situation when you don't have a quarterback on your roster to play, and the guy you're starting at QB1 is, well, I hope he gets in because either the guy gets injured or he plays bad. That's never a good situation to be in. We knew Brady was going to win this week, fellas. I guess we'll start with you, JP. Just some brief takeaways from a pure blowout in week 7.
My biggest takeaway is Matt's got to be thrilled that even off 4 days, 3 days, whatever it was, that they manufactured 5 targets for Cooper, that they were still able to get him in and like just let him essentially run around. I mean, did you guys see that interview, or not the interview, but the clip of Keon Coleman?
Yeah.
Like telling him what he was running, like pre-snap.
The rookie
Yeah.
calling out the
Like
plays.
that's the kind of stuff that like you got to get real excited about that if you own Amari Cooper, because that's how much they want him there. Like they want him to get the ball, and they're excited to have him there, and that's really good to see. And Brady's got to be thrilled with how Tank Bigsby played. I mean, I love ETN. I'm pro ETN. I think ETN's a great running back. There's probably a real world next year where ETN is a trade candidate going into
26 carries for Bigsby.
That's what
Holy
I'm
cow!
saying.
Sorry. Oh my gosh.
No, it's crazy, and I think there's a real world where ETN may be looking at like that post June 1st trade, all that kind of. I think ETN's name will be brought up in a lot of trade conversations next year.
You know, wild take here. I could see him going to Miami.
No, they just
I would
drafted
hate
right.
that.
They have A-Chain. That would be weird to me. I could see him going to like Arizona. I know they drafted Benson, but
yeah, he's still. I mean, Trey Benson could be good, but you know what, you got a little bit more in ETN. I like that. Connor. I mean, he continues to play well though. We were saying the same things about Connor last year. Oh, he could probably be out the door soon, and he's continuing to age like fine wine. So no, good for Matt. Like you mentioned, JP with Cooper, Dalton having negative points too. You got to keep that in mind. Matt wins with a goose egg from Cortland Sutton and negative points for Andy Dalton. Bryce Young will get a shot though this week, and we'll talk about that in our previews. Not really much else to address here. A game that we all had picked correct, and a lot of that was because Brady didn't have a quarterback to play. It's just one of those situations where not much he really could have done. We will get Frank on for this one. Just a quick preview: Colorado Buffaloes, Ty McCain. I'm not really sure what Frank will have to say about this one, guys.
Can't imagine he'll say much.
Yeah, it'll be interesting. I'm looking forward to that. This is something I've looking forward to all week. Drew, I'll let you start though, because I got a lot to say. You can kind of the score reads for itself, and Beaver his first loss of the season.
And I hate to say this, but really, the whole game changed when Javonte Williams had his breakout game finally, and then Njoku had a 31 bomb. I mean, I wasn't really expecting that.
Hey, I didn't call 31 points, but I did mention on the podcast that the week prior, Njoku had his highest target share all season, and that I thought it was going to continue to go that way next week, and that's exactly what happened. So,
yeah, I mean, nothing really I could have done. I mean, I knew this week was coming. I wasn't really expecting this, but I mean, if you look at my team, everyone went under the projection besides I think Hurts and Dobbs. So I mean, can't really ask. I mean, Devontae Smith 0.8 points. I mean, who would have thought that would ever happen this season? But yeah, outside of Williams and Njoku, if they just get 10 points and they're reasonable, it's a ball game. But me scoring 91 points, you ain't gonna win any games like that unless you're playing the expansion teams, unfortunately. So and Dade. So
yeah, I'm glad you brought that up, the 91 points, Drew, because that's where I want to start. Gave out a game ball this week, like we always do after our victories, and this guy's had it tough since he was brought onto the coaching staff here. John Hendricks, the defense this week was just, I mean, you go against 6-0 team, you hold them under 100 points. I mean, you're just getting emotional talking about it in the locker room. It was awesome what the defense was able to do this week. No, all jokes aside. Yeah, Javonte on Thursday night, that was awesome. Wasn't expecting that. He's kind of a weird guy to have. He went for 4.5 the week before. So he's been at both ends of the extreme type of guy. And I was funny enough, I came out of that, Drew. I was mad with Kamara. I was like, I finally get a good game from Williams, and then Kamara does nothing. Like I need them to both go off at the same time. Yeah, you mentioned Njoku. That's great. We'll see what happens now with Watson out and how that changes things. Metcalf was great. We already talked about worried about the injury. We are the IR after all, so it would be pretty on brand for him to miss some time this year. And it doesn't help that we're having continued wide receiver trouble. Calvin Ridley, 7.2 points for him is like we're doing cartweels and jumping.
Could be the second highest. I think that's the second highest total of the season potentially.
Yeah, but here's what I like, boys. You look down at the week 7 or week 6, week 7. He's getting the targets. The looks are there. It's not like the looks aren't there. They're there. There's just got to be better execution on that. That's all I really got.
That trade keeps looking better and better for me.
We'll see how the pick turns out. I mean, I think it's Luke's second I gave you, right?
Yeah, I don't think he's making playoffs. I'm gonna be 100% honest with you.
Middle of the pack.
We'll
we keep talking.
I hope he does.
Second round picks, man. They're not the same like they used to be. But yeah, no, I mean for us, I'm happy with the 137. I know there are things that can get cleaned up. That's how it always is. But I feel like in this league, 137 keeps you in a lot of games. It gives you a chance to win a lot of games. And yeah, thrilled to be 5-2. I pick myself to win like I always do every week. But I was worried this week. We didn't have to break a sweat. So
no, yeah. I wanted to mention too, real quick. Is it true that Kamara broke his left hand, or is that bluff? I saw that.
He's playing with a broken hand.
Is he?
Wow, he's been playing with a broken hand. Let's see if Sleepers reported on it yet. I hate the website. It's so bad. Well, maybe right there. It has been right here. He's been playing through a broken hand the last 2 games and is still dealing with broken ribs that he suffered week 3.
Yeah, that would explain some things. He's still a beast. He earned himself a contract extension, boys. So I feel like I got
a very, very nice one too.
Yeah, I feel like I got to pat myself on the back for that trade I made.
That was a great trade. But beyond the Aaron Jones trade, I think Cam Boyer's lost the last 2 running back trades he's made. He gave Zamir White for Monty straight up. I cannot believe that. I couldn't believe it when it happened. And then that Kamara trade was bad. But then he fleeced for Aaron Jones. So
yeah, Frank and I were having the conversation the other day, and we'll have him on here as our guest in a minute. But we were talking. And we had brought up which trade was the best that I've made, that one or the Herbert one. He goes, honestly, Yak, I think it's the Kamara one based on just the level. And you didn't even have to give up a first. You gave up a guy in Dameon Pierce who, is not really even, getting through it right now. He's struggling to get touches with Mixon there. So all in all, it worked out well. Happy for the win this week. Moving on, we got Jack, Monocle Gentle Sir against the Mighty Polacks. Cam, And what was not a very close matchup, 113-76, the final. Jack continuing to find a way, guys. He's 4-3 now. Return of Nick Chubb. Awesome to see him in the end zone. Wasn't the most efficient day for him on the ground, but he got a score, and that's all that really matters. Another good week for Drake May. Terry McLaurin as well has been extremely solid this season. JP, we'll start with you, though. I touched on Jack's team. You can elaborate more on him as well, just the matchup in general. Another tough week for our Beavin guest a week ago in Camp Croc.
Yeah, and as I mentioned for Kale, I will talk about Mike Evans' injury later down the line. But what really stuck out to me in Jack's season, and what's very worrisome, is the Browns' offensive line, I believe, is ranked like 30th or 31st or 30. It's horrible. It's horrible. They're not good run blockers. They're not good pass blockers. They're terrible. That's going to be worrisome for Chubb. But the most worrisome thing is if Anthony Richardson is the starting quarterback for the Indianapolis Colts, then Josh Downs, actually any wide receiver for the Colts, beyond Alec Pierce, which I can't even believe I have to say that, is essentially useless because Anthony Richardson cannot hit his targets. But like you mentioned, big week for Drake May, and he's got to be feeling good about that. And now D-Hop to the Chiefs. That could definitely spice some things up for him. So
yeah,
you
got it, Beaver. What do you got, man?
No, I was just gonna say his price on DeAndre Hopkins now. I'll take a first and a second rounder now. That's probably his price.
Beaver.
I don't care what shade I give people now. If you don't like it, then go cry me in the river, baby. Whatever that saying is, I don't know. Whatever.
Cry me a river.
Go cry me a river. That's what it is.
Cry me in the river. Put it on
cry me in the river, baby.
Yeah, there you go. Anyways, I think it's you know what, I put this down. You know, I was looking at his team. He's got back-to-back weeks for Mark Andrews. I mean, I think it's time for some Christmas shopping for him. I think he plays somebody this week that he's not gonna win. I mean, this guy is. I don't know what this guy thinks, and like you said, Anthony Richardson's terrible. Josh Downs is not getting the ball if he's the quarterback. Mike Evans looks week to week now. I don't even know what happened. I didn't even watch the game. I didn't even watch the game because we'll get into that later. So I didn't even get to see what happened with that. And yeah, that's all I got. Cam, I mean, he's got to be happy how Gino's playing at 33. But yeah, that's all I got. I'm back to my normal self now. But
there you go, Cam to 3 and 4. I also want to add, Drew, that that guy that Jack plays next week is me. So thank you. Appreciate the appreciate the.
I know I did. I don't know.
No, I know you didn't know, but that's my bad. I was like, I know this. All right, let's wrap it up before we get to our Beavin guest. Hello, I'm Mr. Frog. JP, you want to talk? Maybe not to the magnitude of the points scored for Benjamin Haggerty, but Mr. Frog hiring a season revival for Jake. He's won 3 in a row since hiring Mr. Frog as his head coach. Once again, similar situation to the Matt versus Brady contest. Didn't need to break the bank in scoring this week due to his opponent. How about Ole Moose University? There we go. Got it right on the show this week. Could not get it last week. Dade, want to give a congratulations. The lowest point total in the history of a Beaverfest game when trying to somewhat put up points. 56.98, quite the eyesore there, fellas. Drew, we'll start with you. Your takeaways here.
You know, I just put down, I mean, Jake's going to be a little worried now. Ayuk's out the rest of the year now. Jane Daniels, he's being a little wimp, going against a good defense this year. I would like to use other language, but I prefer not to. Anyways, especially him drafting Anthony Richardson, like we talked about earlier. He sucks. Like he genuinely sucks. Like he's so bad at it.
He beat the Bears.
I don't care. Like if we play them if we play them again out of 10 times, we win 10 out of 10 times. I'm that confident how this team's developing and how Shane Waldron's developed the offensive game now. I'm so confident that if we play them 10 out of 10 times now, we beat them all 10 times. Like one game might be by 3 points, and then we might see a Cairo game winner. But as
long as it's from 30 yards.
I don't care. I don't care what it is. But that actually just made me so mad because I remember him praising how good Anthony Richardson was, and he's just so freaking bad. Like JP said, he can't even hit his targets. Like even
10 of 24 is disgusting.
Yeah, that's just disgusting.
The week before he was like 9 for 19. Or 5 for 19, I think.
The first week of the season he had 9 completions. Just not good, man. He's
just not good.
Gosh. Good week 1, but then again he completed 9 passes, 19 attempts. He had 1 deep ball to
50% all the weeks or worse. 50% every week or worse, besides the week he got injured. I mean, 17 for 34, 10 for 20. Jeez, this is ridiculous. I can't believe this.
And then the other thing I want to mention is that he's got a drug person now dealing with drug problems now. I don't know if he's doing drugs or what he's doing, but
Jameson Williams.
I mean, he failed his test, so he's got to be doing something. Got a gambling problem and a drug addiction. So
isn't this the second time? Is this his second PED suspension?
No, it was gambling.
Second gambling, or just second whatever suspension.
Just second suspension. First one was the gambling.
So yeah. I am a little concerned about his team, but
Barkley's a stud, and so is AJ Brown. The Philly guys ate for him this week. Welcome back, AJ Brown.
Does he have a first? I don't remember.
Mats.
Yeah, it's Mats.
Yeah,
Mats. He has Mats.
So
I mean, he's got something to look forward to, I guess. But
yeah,
I think he'll be fine though. I mean, AJ Brown. I mean, you can't go wrong with him. I mean, he's top 3 receiver in this league. You can tell that's Jalen Hurts' favorite receiver. I mean, obviously,
you wish you had him, huh?
No, I wish.
Yeah. JP for Dade. This is kind of what we expected from the beginning of the season. He had overshot and had outperformed himself early, almost won a game by mistake. Is this more the standard, you think, moving forward? He had good games from Madison and Brock Purdy, but other than that, I mean, down weeks for Jaden Reed, Jordan Addison, not great. Just in general, Tank Dell, a goose egg that almost lost me in redraft league. Just in general, I think this is this what we're looking at here moving forward more than norm.
Yeah, I do believe it is. And I watched Tank Dell actually drop 2 touchdowns on Sunday. So that could have, I mean, not changed the outcome, but made it look a little better. But the one thing I do want to announce is that Dade lost his warning this week, which now spices things up for the matchup of Ty versus Dade. I didn't
catch this. When did he lose? Who did he lose it on?
Look at the screen right now. Tommy Tremble. Tommy Tremble was announced out, and Dade said that there was no one he could go pick up, which was false information. Anyways, so now Dade and Ty
picked up. I'm kind of curious.
There was Harrison Bryant was one of the names thrown around. Hayden Hurst, I think, was another maybe.
There you go. Well, congrats to Dade. 56.98.
Ian Thomas, that's what I was trying to think of. Ian Thomas.
Yeah, the new record for the lowest points in a match. It is time for our Beavin Guest of the week. But looking forward to this one. This should be a fun interview. My guy Frank Tummillo coming your way right now here on the Just Beavin podcast. Everyone's favorite segment of the pod right now, the Beavin Guest, and been waiting to get this guy on. Excited that we get to have him here this week, Mr. Frank Tummillo. Frank, my man, how are we doing before we get into everything? And I just want to get I know it's hard because you're an OG member and you're a very involved member to add on to that in terms of the shattering, in terms of the moves over the course of the league's 3-year history. You've been a part of some of the bigger trades and the blockbuster deals of the
biggest trade. The biggest trade.
The biggest trade.
Don't get into it. The biggest trade.
Just want to welcome to the show, my man. And I just want to kind of get your just your 3 years of what it's like being a part of this league, this brotherhood that we have here.
No, appreciate you guys having me on. Not surprising it was this late into the game since everyone despises me in this league. But I've just come to the conclusion I'm just really good at this. And well, I don't know what else there is need to be said. What else? Does anyone know who's been hurt for me forever? But that Pacheco guy, right? Isaiah Pacheco, and I've been winning how many games? 5 in a row, 4 in a row since? Yeah. And then Zay Fly. Oh, no. Never mind. I just realized I did something. But it's okay. But regardless, I'm honored to be here, guys. And let's get into it, okay?
Yeah, let's do it. We got your recap coming up right here. You took on Ty this past week, so not a whole lot just in general to talk about the matchup in general. Not really much of a contest. Ty, though, overshoot his projection, 86 points with his projected 77. Your team, Frank, your takeaways, what you were the most excited about, areas of improvement, anything that you got here. Another 150 plus week, and like you mentioned, 5 wins in a row.
No, I will say one thing with at least my team. I was really concerned with I think it was McBride, Kincaid, and Flowers. I guess CJ Stroud too. McBride got help because Marvin got hurt. I'm pretty sure it was the previous week or whatever. But Kincaid, I'm concerned now with Amari Cooper. Thank God he got at least 10 points. Zay Flowers, I'm concerned he doesn't play again or play next week. That's alarming. And right for this is breaking news for my matchup going forward. I'm starting Bo Nix over CJ Stroud.
I was
I
waiting
am
for it.
going-
I thought this was
I'm-
going to be the week you did it. I
Nope,
thought it was
yeah.
going to be the week we just had.
This was the trial and error run where it's like, this is CJ has to go. I'm going to try. I knew it was a bad matchup.
Yeah.
It's
Hey,
Bo Nix time. It is
Yeah,
Bo
I
Nix time.
thought you were pulling the trigger this week on it.
Yeah, it's Bo Nix time.
Wow.
Dude,
Hey,
10 carries for Bo Nix is
Dude,
devious work from John Payton,
Just
bro.
look at the last couple games from him. I'm like, this dude's unreal, actually. I don't care about the wins.
Dude, the rushing attempts is crazy work.
I was actually shocked. I'm like, I knew he was gonna scramble, but actual power run, that's crazy.
Second
He
round
already
draft
has
on the
40
block.
he's 47 rushing attempts.
That's
already.
what I see. They're actually calling QB runs with him. It's amazing.
He's a QB1 in the league. He's QB 14 right now. He is a QB1.
I was just gonna say it's even more reason if you ask specifics. I think Stroud's QB 12 right here. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, QB 12 versus QB 14. I don't care. That's inflation if you ask me. It's Bo Nix time.
Does this mean Stroud's on the block now?
Shut up. Next question. Come on.
Yeah, keep that mentality. Any Beav, Drew, or JP? I should Beav, Drew, same thing. Beav, JP, any takeaways really? Other than
just that Frank's team's overrated. I think I have 100 points more than him. I beat him head to head too in the highest scoring matchup of the year. And I just want it to be known that I don't personally fear having to play Frank. I actually would like to play Frank in the first week of the playoffs. That way, when I knock him out, I know I have a championship secured. So I would prefer to play Frankie in the first week of the playoffs. So maybe if Frank can actually win some games here, jump some guys, then maybe I can match up with him.
You're such a tough guy. It isn't just luck. This is nothing. This is nothing. You're just a tough.
You wouldn't be the first guy on the panel to beat Frank this year, JP, if you're able to do so.
No, actually, I think we did it. I think we did it in back-to-back weeks, Andy. If I'm correct.
Yeah.
That's right. Yeah. There you go.
As MJ said, I took it personal.
We'll see. I get you one more time, Frank. I'm excited. So yeah, we'll see what that entails later on. But as we move,
I get to play the ambulance. Yeah.
The ambulance took you out in week one. And we're gonna get everyone back. We're gonna get everyone back. We'll go make a run after it. So we look into your week 8 matchup transition here. After a dominant win last week, you get a guy coming off a pretty tough week. Kale, 86 points in a game that wasn't close with JP. Just want to get your general thoughts. What are you looking out for? Matchups you like? Thoughts on your opponent as well.
Yeah. I mean, overall, I kind of like where my team's at as far as matchups, too. I kind of don't like where my receivers are playing besides Amon-Ra. I don't like Neighbors against Pitt. I don't like London against Tampa, but that's just – it is what it is for that. And then I don't like Dalton Schultz being in. It's him or Justice Hill at this point for an option. I don't like that. That's if Zay Flowers can't go, I should say. If Zay Flowers can't go, that's the dilemma. But besides that, and then Bo Nix draws in versus Carolina. Can't wait for that. Other than that, Kale sucks. He might win. He's going to win probably. It's just how sports works, but it's what it is.
Yeah, you got to run. You got to run after it. So I'm assuming you're obviously taking yourself. And you get
I'm not. I'm taking Kale. I am 100% taking Kale because this is how this goes. I know how this goes. I've seen this story before.
You're legitimately not picking yourself to win.
No.
Okay. Boys, what do we got?
Hence, Andy, I can't lose in that scenario.
That's a good point.
Come on.
That's a good point. Well, I can lose, and I am losing right now. JP, our records. I know last week we were kind of a mixed bag in our picks. And
yeah, last week I went 6-1, you went 5-2, and Beaver went 4-3. So now our totals are: I'm in first, 37-12. Drew's in second, 35-14, and you're in third, 34-14. So you gained a game back on Drew, but I pulled away again. Or I guess for the first
3
time.
back. That's not good. We'll have to fix that. And this one's not going to fix it because we're all going to probably go the same way here. I'm taking Frank. If you got your pick, JP,
Beef.
or Beef.
Yeah, I'm going to take Frank. I don't support Kale's team anymore.
Plain and simple.
I
no
want to
question.
take Kale, and I truly agree with Frankie. It's just how fantasy works. But Dak going up against San Francisco just gives me horrible vibes. And Deontay Johnson's going to get clamped by Pat Surtain. I actually think Frankie's going to beat his projection, and Kale is definitely going to go under his projection. I'm taking Frank.
Yeah, I don't
Did-
really. I don't. Go ahead.
I was gonna say if you got something to add, Drew. I know you're chomping at the bit here.
No, I don't really like any of his matchups this week. Like I literally don't. I think Eckler's gonna do terrible this week. I think Najee's gonna do terrible. Let's see, Jamar Chase. He's probably gonna get clamped. Tyreek should have a good game, but he can't even beat his one-on-ones. So
Is Tua back or no?
That's, we were talking about this earlier with our pick'em league on here and what we think. We don't know yet, which makes things tough.
this bro's starting Sterling Shepard. It's gone bad when you're starting him in your roster. So
Yeah. There you have it. Beaver has
Yeah.
spoken.
I just know like Austin Eckler. I hope it doesn't happen, but like watch him have a signature game. That's my fear.
Well, we
There's
really
no
hope
way.
that doesn't
There's
happen
no
this week.
I know that's why I said
Yeah.
I really hope it doesn't, but I can just see that happening randomly.
So the panel, everyone but Frank is picking Frank. That's that is funny how that works. I believe JP. Do we have a guest? We do have a guest that was 6-1, correct?
Cam Crook just went 6-1. Yep.
Did he really? What was
Yep.
the one he got wrong? Brady?
We all took Cam Boyer.
Oh,
He went back. He walked back as Brady took and took
that's
Matt.
right. That's right. Bad memory. But all right, that's what you're going up against, Frank. 6-1. We'll go rapid fire here for the rest of the matchups here in week 8.
I'm gonna go Matt. Obviously, this first matchup.
We're starting up here. I don't know what you're looking at.
I'm not on your screen. I'm on my own.
Well, you
that's
need to
why.
look at the screen because that's where the picks are happening, and this
Yeah.
is the order we go in. And you're on the
So
show, so you're gonna follow the
complicated.
order.
I thought I ran this. God. 1 sec, then. I can't even see my screen. There we go. All right.
Benjamin Haggerty
God.
and Drew.
Yeah,
JP and Drew.
yes.
How do we? Oh man, this will be quite the preview.
This is actually. Can you click it then for me so I get to see? Oh, it's JP. Next question. That's
Great
I
answer.
already
I
see
mean,
it enough.
I mean,
already
that's-
see
that's
it.
what
I
Drew- Beav. I like your team. Not really, but it's JP. I'm sorry. Anyone else? There's no shot. Come on, you're a good team. You're 6-1. Not for long. What?
There you go. This should be another quick one for you. 0-7, Ole Moose University. The man's up.
Love the rebrand.
I can't believe
rebrand.
Dade's projected 103.
I was just alarmed by that. I'm like, who is he like
Yeah,
starting? Like, what's happening with that? I was also off, but okay, obviously Matt. That's an easy one.
I want to ask you before we move on the edit. It was on Beaverfest Instagram, but I gave you the credit for it. That you made up, Matt. How long did that take you to make?
2 seconds. They're locked and loaded for everyone.
I was gonna say, did you have that ready?
2 seconds. 2 seconds. You're all just don't lose to me. It's a Ty. You get an exception because it's Ty. He's already low. I can't do that.
Oh, I can't wait for this one this week. Woo,
Yeah,
can't wait for it.
it's
Yeah,
simple.
man.
It's not. I'm not taking more than like 10 minutes to make something. But
Beaver.fest on Instagram for all those videos and much more. We had a trade as well that went on in the league today. Make sure to go check that out. Luke Hunley here, guys. Big week last week. Talked about how happy we were for him. Going to 160 plus. He's heavily favored here against Cam Crook. Frank, your selection.
Is that just literal projection, or is someone that's not big starting for him?
No,
For
that's
Cam?
projection.
Cam.
I think that's
Just
a little
actually.
projection. Yeah.
No, I was saying like any one of his like big dogs isn't playing. Is that?
No, they're all playing.
Oh, then okay, that's Luke. Wow, I didn't know. Wow. All right, yeah,
There
it's
you go.
Luke.
When you live in the mansion, you don't know the peasants. living
Yeah,
below you.
I don't know peasant life like that. Wow,
No.
that's crazy.
Moving on. Marty's looking
Wow.
to get a 2-game winning streak here. Myself against Jack.
This is a trap game. This is a trap game. The definition of a trap game. Let me see lineups real quick again, but this is a trap game. Never mind. Oh, you got a lot of Qs though. Are they all confirmed like looking to play, or those are a lot of Qs?
DK, I don't know.
Kamara's
Fortunately.
been playing through a broken hand and broken ribs. They might actually sit him this week, but no one knows.
And I don't like Ridley for you sucks now, I think. Because now he is the only thing on offense. I'm taking Jack. Screw it. I'm taking Jack. I'm gonna take Jack. I don't know why. That's just a gut
a
feeling.
hunch?
I'm gonna take Jack. Yeah,
There
it's
you
a
go.
hunch. I'm gonna take Jack.
There you go. We already went over your matchup. Ty and
Go
Brady.
Kale. Go Kale. Let's go Kale. Woo!
This is Ty and Brady. Going to be one of the matchups of all time in this league. My
That
goodness.
is wild.
Where
I never
do
thought
you
that
go
would-
here?
That's
This is
Theory,
the difference
flip a
between
coin.
7. This is the difference between 7-0 and 6-1.
tie.
Okay.
All right.
Flip the coin for it.
That was a flip a coin thing, literally for it.
And then your good friend, hello, I'm Mr. Frog, Jake Sapparo against the Moodang Maulers. Probably the best rebrand we've had in the league this year. Can't wait. Should be another good one here.
Also a great one.
I'd say it's like second best.
Can I see
There's-
matchups again, please? Just oh
Course,
my!
man, I think
I just
so.
want. Okay, it's gonna be unfortunately Jake. Unfortunately,
There you have it.
I don't like that, but it's Jake.
Frank's picks are locked in for the week. It is now time for everyone's favorite part of this particular segment, the Beavin Guest. We're going to give the floor to Drew. A lot of questions coming your way here, Frank. Beaver, take it away.
All right, Frank. Thanks for joining the show, my man.
Appreciate
This
it.
is a rapid fire questions. So here we go. First question. Arizona basketball, in your opinion, what's their ceiling? What's their floor? Where do you see them at this year?
That's a deep question right off the bat. Elite Eight, fucking Elite Eight, Elite Eight floor, second round.
Honest, I like it.
You know what? I like that. I gotta
You
ask
want to know why? You want to know why I say that real quick? Because the Big 12. We're not going to get the higher seed we want, so that second round game is going to be better than we had. In
So
Michigan,
what seed do you see yourself getting?
3 or 4.
Okay, that's fair. All right, now tell me a
With
little
the
about.
ceiling of a 2. The ceiling of 2. Go ahead.
Okay, and this is kind of like a throw-in question, but tell me a little bit about Kylan Boswell. Why do you hate him so much? I need to know because as a Illini fan,
when you're
I got him.
Okay. Go ahead.
No,
Yeah.
I got
When
it. No.
When you're the starting point guard for a team, I expect you to average double-digit points and like more than 3 assists for the point guard. For I think you're a top 10 throughout the year. Didn't do that a lot. Also drank and puked all the time on the weekends. I found them like absolutely just dead on the street one time. So that's not ideal when you see your starting point guard just, out and about like that. And then not doing good. If he was doing good, it's okay. But other than that, I hope he does good. He won't, but I hope he does good.
I think that's a good.
Umar
observation.
Bala will be better than shout out JP and his Hoosiers. He'll have a more impact than Kylan Boswell.
Well, we'll see about that. Brad's got
No. Who's your center?
We got some guy from
No, exactly.
Bang.
Some guy.
No, we got
Exactly.
It's a good way to start it, Beaver.
No,
It's Big Ten basketball. If you don't have a
it's
center,
no,
you're
it's
absolutely
it's
nothing.
Ivishit's twin brother from Kentucky. That guy. That's who we got. We got his twin brother.
That says everything.
Apparently,
That says everything.
hey man,
You have a
Really?
lottery pick. Focus on that. I don't care. You should focus on your
we have
lottery
two.
pick.
We have two apparently. So we'll see how it goes.
Jesus Christ. I forgot Illinois fans. Next question, please.
No, I want to hear this now. That we're in
No,
this.
no.
No, we're talking football.
Rapid
No.
fire, Drew. Next question.
This is, whatever. All right. So second question. I heard you're a hockey player back in the day. Tell me a little about that. Do you miss it or what is it?
What a question. No, I do miss. Jeez, I love you, Beav. I love you so much. No, I miss it for sure. I don't miss getting injured every other year, but yes, I miss it.
All right, back on with question 3. Do you see yourself with the trade deadline coming up? Do you see yourself making any future moves, especially if you're Tech coming up in the draft? Do you see any moves coming up your way?
I do plan on maybe potentially dumping someone for assets. That's a hint. That's a little tease. I do plan on that, or at least try to. But then in the off season, I do plan to make a big splash.
Ooh,
That's the plan.
the rumor mill.
Interesting.
That
So
is
you're telling me we can cook something up, maybe? in the
next
kitchen.
question.
Frank, my phone
Next.
I'm 24/7, baby. Phone's always
Yeah,
open.
I'm ready to cook in the kitchen if you are.
The two of these other people besides you, Beav, no, I will not make a trade with them ever. No shit.
Hey man, I've been offered some crazy
Hey,
offers. from
Beef's
people.
in your division too now.
Oh my god, I'm thinking it's just us four. That's right. No one gets a trade in this call. Then never mind. No one gets that.
All right, fine. All right, number 4. We'll make this quick. Go-to drink at the bar. I know you don't like to drink, Frank, which I don't have a problem with that, but I just need to hear what's your go-to drink. You're dying in less than an hour. What are you getting?
You know what it is actually that I've switched. This is recently. I don't even know if I didn't get it when I was out with you, Yak, but I've grown accustomed to it. Tequila Sprite.
Oh,
Yeah.
I don't know about that.
That's
but-
my no. It just
Yeah,
works.
whatever-
Hey, it
hey,
works for me. Exactly.
whatever
It works
floats
I
your
don't
boat.
judge a man's drink order.
Yeah, whatever
works
floats your
for
boat,
me.
man. I mean, we had
Yeah.
Matt on here like in pineapple, which I love. So you like the girly?
It's that or
drink?
Jack and ginger ale. Those are the two options. Otherwise, it's just whatever floats the boat here.
There you
All
go.
right,
I'm not
in our final question of Beavin Guest, appreciate you, Frank, for coming on again. I need to know who's your frenemy in this league.
your biggest adversary, one could say.
Wow.
I promise you're not gonna hurt any feelings. If it's me, it's okay.
No, I
wanna
do.
hear
I
this.
would say it to your face if it was you. I do. I'm just trying to think. I don't even know.
I have a closeted guess that I think he's gonna go with.
I also
I
do,
have 2 guesses.
and I'm ready for it.
I mean, it's kind of sad because I know just more people dislike me than I like them. So it's like I don't even. Oh, I had a former one.
That's
He's
who
not
I
with us
thought it was gonna
anymore.
be.
He's-
Oh, not
He's-
that.
yeah,
That's
that
not who I
doesn't
thought it
count
was gonna be.
yeah, that's literally who it was. But I don't even.
I thought you were gonna say someone else, but you know, if you don't have that thought, it's all right.
I
just
don't.
wanna-
I'll hand up. I don't. If I had to say, I guess it would be JP only because he's like my rival, like of competition. Other, oh my, well now that's even more so why he's my. But
Hey,
no,
fair
I thought you were gonna
answer,
say Ty.
why?
Because you guys used to stock it out with trades and group chats, and I just remember some things being said in the Beaverfest group chat between the two of you that was pretty hostile. Way back when. I didn't know if you carried the grudge with you because you haven't traded in literally almost a full season, besides the draft trade. So the
What?
last
Because
time,
I took a second from him when he he messed up.
I don't remember. I
Right.
just remember there was some beef there for a little bit.
That's a one-sided beef. Then I'm
Yeah,
I'm here for
That's
business.
how half the
I'm
league.
here for
That's how half
business.
the league is with you. So
That's my point, though. I'm like, I'm just business. It ain't personal. It's business. Come on.
fair enough. Thanks, Frank, again for showing.
Oh,
what?
time out. I have a question for you, Beav.
Okay.
Can you name me your top 3? Like, how do I even phrase this? Your top 3 moments in life.
God.
Give me
well,
your top
unfortunately, we don't
3.
have time for that, Frank.
Yeah, we
This
don't
is
have time
nope.
for it.
We're gonna make time. Add it after. Answer my question. Top 3 moments of your life. You're gonna add it after.
God,
He
I
will
can't-
answer that question.
All right,
Exactly.
Yak,
You're
get
gonna
out
say-
of here.
All right, Frank. Appreciate it as always, my man. Thanks for coming on. The Beavin Guest of the Week, Mr. Frank Tummillo.
Appreciate it, boys.
Frank, thank you for being the Beavin Guest here of the week. A lot of fun questions to be asked and was out of this world with Frank's background. So we've already talked about one of the week 8 matchups, that being Frank's. We got the other 6 to go over here, and it starts with a matchup where I'm not even going to say a word other than my pick. It's all these guys: Drew, JP, Benjamin Haggerty, Chewbacca chews a lot. Drew, you're 6-1. You just lost your first game to me last week. I'll let you start and talk about your side of this matchup.
Yeah, I don't really like David Montgomery's matchup or Hubbard's, but I like my receivers matchups. I think this is a big game for Caleb Williams and DJ Moore, as you saw last week. Huge loss for not having them in that lineup. I think that changes the game. I do like Laporta's matchup as well this week. I think having JMO out this week, I think his production's going to go up a little bit. I do like James Cook as well too. That Cielo Rundy has been horrendous, but we'll see what happens. I think I do have a chance. I am taking myself here.
There you go. JP.
Expecting big weeks from the running backs. My rookies have showed out. Hopefully Marv can bounce back after some dud weeks. But I'm expecting a big week from the running backs. A lot of them going up against weak rushing defenses. So Kareem Hunt, Mason, and Henry hoping to lead me to a big win this week. And I'm going to take myself, obviously. So
As the tiebreak, I guess not tiebreak, but because Frank took JP as well. I'm going to go with Mr. McGuire too. I know that doesn't really help me because I'm chasing him by 3 games, but I also don't want to fall behind even more too. You just got to go with what the gut is. And yeah, like you guys touched on matchups, it's for me, it's also the Ravens. Lamar Jackson and Derrick Henry could not be playing any better right now. They're playing, no pun intended, because Frank just had that on his background, out of this world. They're playing insane. It's so much fun to watch. And I think those two alone could lead JP to victory and be that deciding factor, that big push. So I'm going to take JP as well. We move to another week where Matt's playing an opponent where guys he should be able to easily handle this one. Projected nearly 140, taking on Dade 0-7. The goal for Dade, not win a game this season. There's not too much to dive into here. The projections speak for themselves. Matt coming off victory last week, a chance here to even up at 500 on the season, and I believe he does so. This will be Matt's 4th win of the campaign.
yeah, and I hate to do this to Matt because I know a lot of the guys tune in and watch only their portions of the episodes, but there's just not much to say here. He's playing Dade, so I'm taking Matt to win.
Yeah, I mean, I'm also taking Matt here. There's not a lot to say here. I think it's going to be a blowout. I don't know if this was said already. I don't know why Dade's projected 103 points.
No, because McMillan's projections went up.
Yep.
Oh,
I don't know if Dade is, because Tim Patrick's not in. Hardman, I don't know if Dade set his tanking lineup yet, but
Yep, it's his show lineup for now. And that's a good point with Mike Evans out for I don't know how long. I think they said like week 11 at least. And then Godwin, his foot going in the different direction. That is obviously not a good thing.
I want to play this game this week if you guys are interested. Who does Matt screw up not playing this week?
I mean, it won't matter because he's going to win.
The tight end every week.
It doesn't matter, but
Matt has never 7 weeks in. Matt's highest scoring tight end has been on his bench every single week.
So I guess by default, then that means Hunter Henry is who he'll screw up by not playing if he keeps this lineup. If it's not a tight end, I think Jalen Naylor is going to find the end zone on Thursday Night Football.
I love the Jalen Naylor pick. That goes hard.
I like a Jawan Jennings game as well.
I like a Cortland Sutton game.
Okay. And there we have it on the next matchup. Here we go, Yak.
There you go. Sweeping the board away. And this fella's, unfortunately, with the exception of a couple, this might be a down week in the league. We may not have much to recap next week. Bigsby's Bandits, a huge first win for Clayton Bigsby as the head coach for Luke. Projected to win by 35 points against Cam Crook. Guys, Luke as well. Back against the wall, potentially could have fallen to 2-5 if he didn't beat Cam last week. And that was a good chance, Cam Boyer, I should say. That was a good chance to him himself, even up at 500. I think he does so. Josh Allen against Seattle, that could be a fun game. I know weather might be a little weird. Bijan against Tampa. I know Robinson's been getting a lot of touches lately, and I love Breece Hall against that New England defense. I always talk about that top 3. That's what really to look out for. Even if the top 3, even if one of them falters, I don't think it'll matter all that much. I think Luke wins this pretty convincingly.
Yeah, Cam's looking to lose here. He's said multiple times he's open to lose. That's exactly what he's trying to do, and he'll get another loss. So I guess a win-win for both of these teams as Luke gets his win and Cam gets his loss.
Yeah, it's very unfortunate because obviously Luke's the win this week, and I think his 3-headed goat is going to go insane again this week. It's just unfortunate that he's playing a team that's not worth the crap, unfortunately. So it's not really going to matter what he does. I mean, at this rate, he could score 95 points and still win. So, I mean, it is what it is, but a win's a win. So
that it is, Beaver. Another sweep across. May have some differing opinions on this one. Frank took Jack, myself against Mr. Bauer. I'll let you guys start, and I'll close us out here. Drew, your pick.
Come back to me.
Okay, JP.
McLaurin's getting shut down. Jalen Johnson's second best corner in the league. He's getting absolutely clamped this week. Josh Downs is, as we spoke earlier in the recap, I'm taking Andy to win this by a bigger margin than it's projected. Puka may play. I think he'd be a decoy anyways, but once Andy Yeah, no, I actually think Andy's probably gonna score 150 this week, and Jacko's under his projection. I'm taking Andy to win.
Right now, Drew?
Yeah, yeah, I'm straight now. I agree. I overlooked this when you first hit me on the spot. I got you winning this matchup. I don't like Chubb going against the Baltimore defense. I think he's gonna get under his projection. I don't think Taylor's 100% healthy still, like we've talked about in the previous episodes. High ankle sprains, hard to deal with. It's even harder to recover from it. But
They linger. That's the problem.
they do linger. And as you know, Mr. McGuire has had plenty of those, so he could tell you all about it. But yeah, I'm leaning towards you, Yak. My one concern about you, which I was leaning towards Yak, uh, is Kamara going to play? Is Metcalf going to play? Those are just questions up in the air that are just going to surprise us on Sunday. We don't know what's going to happen. So it could be interesting, but it could be a blowout. Those are the two things that we don't know yet.
Yeah, I'm obviously gonna take myself. If you watch the program, you know how I operate. Injuries are always a concern with my team. That's how we are. I have a replacement. If you saw my bench, I don't have Jake Ferguson in the lineup right now. It's not a perfect.
I saw that. I
replacement.
was gonna say.
Yeah.
I started to say once and then I stopped. I was gonna say I just didn't think your lineup was set. But
I know this is probably what I'm gonna roll with if everyone's healthy. I don't know. I may have to him or Komet. I have to still decide. But I mean, it's hard not to play David Njoku with him being a target hog, regardless of who's at QB there, and with no more Amari Cooper. So if Kamara doesn't play, I have Javonte Williams in a flex. I move him to running back, and I put Ferg in. That's the plan.
Love
if Kamara doesn't play. We're in a bit more trouble if Metcalf doesn't play, because that means then I have to go down
your favorite player.
Yeah, either Christian Watson or Xavier Legette, my two best friends. So
hey, what about Sky Moore?
I almost
still roster him, Andy.
Okay, here's the thing. I lost the bid to who's the Denver tight end? Kroll?
Yeah.
Moore was my casualty in that bidding. So yeah, he's the next
I
guy.
watched Sky Moore drop a slant on Sunday, and all I could do was laugh to myself. It's
every time. What a bad. I want him off, but we have roster spots to hang on right now. I know I took him in the first half. I tried to get rid of him at the dynasty.
It's just crazy that
expansion.
That was what his value was at one point in time.
Yeah,
I thought he was going to be electric.
It's just because who he went to. But no, he'll go once. Hopefully, my R spots clear up. That would be nice. But when those start clearing up, he'll be a guy who goes for sure. But yeah, it's tough if we lose. I'd prefer to lose Kamara. I know that sounds backwards, but I have a better placement plan for him as opposed to DK.
Yeah.
But you guys make a good point. Jack's matchups aren't great. Obviously, my team's kind of a question mark every week with health, but I like what we got this week. I think we'll take care of business. So
hey, quick question for you, Yak, about your team. What do you value Christian Watson right now? Like, just curious.
I think he'd make a great addition to anyone in this league who's interested. He's a great locker room guy, and he has big play potential.
Answered like a true champion. I love that answer.
I love it too.
That's how I would go after it. Guys, we talked about it with Frank. This is the matchup of all time in this league.
Oh, Ty's going to lose. This projection isn't even accurate. Ty just hasn't set his lineup. Because he's going to have to play Rudolph or Minshew. And
you mean Ty's going to win?
Oh, yeah. Sorry. Yeah, Ty's going to win. He hasn't even set his lineup yet.
Does Brady have a quarterback to play?
No, that's why he traded Winston. That's why he went out to trade Winston so he could lose this matchup.
Wait. So, can you go down Ty's? So he's got to start Mostert, right?
No, he's got to start Minshew or Rudolph.
Yeah, but I'm going by position. So he's got to start Mostert. He's got to start Gabe Davis. He's got to start Pitts, and he's got to start Conklin.
Yeah. See, in a matchup where both teams want to lose, Ty's going to win. Ty's my pick.
But here's the thing, boys. You got Ty. Here's the thing.
He has a quarterback, Drew.
Yeah, but
he can't play Chris Conley. He can't play Doolin. He can't play any of these guys down here.
Oh, that's right. I forgot.
All he can do is plug in Rudolph or Minshew. Everyone in his lineup right now has to play. Unless Chris Conley gets a magical decimal bump here.
Yeah.
He's got to play. Brady can still plug and play his lineup still. Keon Coleman can go in. He can play Hayden Hurst, although I don't know if he'd want to play Hayden Hurst after last week. But this is pretty much what Brady's rolling with next week. So
hey, I think I'm going to be honest with both of y'all. I think Roshan's going to get in the end zone. And if Tank plays like he did, it doesn't matter who's starting at QB for him.
Well, then take Brady.
I really want to take Brady, but
go for it.
You got
Ty put
down
up
2
86
games.
points last week. That's all I need.
Yeah, you're catching me, man. You
All
pick
right,
whoever
all
you
right.
want.
Go up again. Go up again. I'm gonna take a gander real quick. No, I'm taking a safe pick. I'm going Ty. I don't care. It's just
Ooh.
I don't
Man,
know.
this is a great week for me because we're all pretty much agreeing on all these matchups. So
It's hard
just
not to agree.
I know it's another week in the book for me.
There you have it. All right. And I can't wait to recap that one next week. That'll be
What
fun.
did I just do? I hit the wrong button. My bad.
Last but certainly not least, before we get to our power rankings, one of the few good matchups this week. Cam Boyer, Mudang Wallers, Jake Sapparo going after it, guys. Drew, I want to start with you here.
Yeah, I really I like Jake's matchups with Barkley. I think he's gonna run all over that defense that he's been doing all year. But I do like again, I like Cam's matchups as well. Mixon's been showing that he's a true RB1. I mean, I think he's to go crazy against that Colts defense. Goff does worry me a little bit just because the Tennessee defense isn't a push off. They are somewhat decent. I wouldn't even say defense. I think they're probably a top 15 defense in the league, maybe even better. I do like his matchups though. It worries me if Olave and Debo are they gonna play? Debo's hospitalized, like we talked about earlier. And the concerns of Waddle and Smith Najibba still concern me. I'm gonna go Jake here. I really want to take Cam. I really do. Oh, I really want to, but I just can't do it. God, I really want to. God damn it, I really want to, but I just can't because he's got Debo and Chris Olave that I don't know who's gonna play. I don't know. I gotta be safe and take Jake here.
There you go. JP.
Sorry, Cam Miller.
I don't know if this is Boyer's final lineup. I can't believe Aaron Jones is on his bench and Kyron Williams. Am I looking at this right? Like, are these real plays? Is he really benching those two over for JSN? I mean, I get Ingram and Goddard, but he's choosing to bench both of those for JSN.
Well,
I
who
guess
do they play? I didn't even realize that. Who did
they play the Rams, who have a horrible front seven, and they play the Vikings, who I don't know how their run defense has been, but I mean, their defense itself has been really good. I don't know. It's weird to me that he's not playing Aaron Jones, I guess, but I'm taking Zippy anyways. I think Winston beats his projection. I think people are overestimating how bad this Ayuk injury is to the grand scheme of things. He's 4-3 right now, and Ayuk has only been like the wide receiver, 46. So I'm not too concerned about him losing Ayuk. It's the same team it was a week before, except now he doesn't have the burden of starting an underperforming Ayuk. Give me Zippy.
I gotta go different here. I need to make up some ground. It's week 8. I'm taking Cam Boyer. They both were pretty similar last week. Cam finished at 125, Jake at 124. Some injuries involved on both sides. This is simply just the pick because, as JP mentioned earlier in the show, I'm 3 games back of him in a game behind Drew. I can't really afford to. I got to go all or nothing. I can't really afford to be all the same picks as these guys this week. So I'm going to take an upset. My upset of the week is the Mudang Maulers. They will improve to 6-2. So that'll do it for our picks for week 8. Trying to see where everyone will land up at the end of the season. Going to round the show off like we always do with our power rankings, some movement throughout per usual. A lot of consistency, though. That's kind of been the theme, guys, the last couple of weeks. And this is kind of funny how this works. It's consistent at the top. It's consistent at the bottom. Yet again, we got more movement in the middle. JP, this is kind of your segment. I'll let you drive the ship here.
Yeah, the first thing that really jumped off to me when I was putting this all together was, I'm not sure what Benjamin's got to do to earn the top spot from you guys. I mean, he's the top point scorer. He beat Frank head to head. I went back and I went week by week to see how many weeks I've outscored Frank, and I've even outscored him in more than half of the weeks. I'm just really, really, I guess not worried, but I just, we're wondering what we could do to earn the top spot from the other guys. But we all agreed on Beaver, and we all pretty much agreed on Cam and Zippy. But then, yeah, like you mentioned, a lot of movement in the middle. Andy, you and Luke back to back being the highest risers from 9 to 6 and from 10 to 7, respectively. Andy, how do you feel about your jump this week?
Feel like it's well deserved. We put up nearly 140 on the only undefeated team left in the league. We won convincingly. And once again, I got to keep bringing this up and not that it really matters. Like, I know I'm a playoff contending team, but probably not a championship team, just how it is. But it's fantasy football. You're going to play the weeks as they are. You can make the argument that my I don't have my best player. And I think that's what's kind of funny when you look at all this is I haven't had my best player for a full game this season. And I'm 5-2, and I've beaten some pretty solid teams in this league. I've beaten Drew, I've beaten Frank, and I don't have Puka Nakua. And I know there are guys you're missing too. Everyone's dealing with injuries. I get it. But I think that my team is really just a Puka away. And fortunately, we're not going to get Hollywood Brown back. But I just want to have a fully healthy Puka Nakua and DK Metcalf in the lineup the same week. I know this is a team that if everyone's healthy, that's not going to be a case. But if everyone's somewhat healthy around playoff time, could kind of stir up some stuff. I don't know. I think it's well deserved, and we're hitting strides here, hoping to build on it with another good weekend. Luke deserves the rise as well. 3 straight weeks over 150, went 160 plus this weekend. Like I mentioned in the previews, that was a must-win game for him. That was a save the season win for Luke. If he's 2-5, he's not making the playoffs. He gives himself a shot here, and I think that him and I rising up was much deserved.
Yeah, and then we move on. We got Matt at 8, who I put Matt at 7. I'm shocked that Matt got a win and we dropped him a spot. I found that hard to believe. Andy, you were giving Matt no praise, putting him at 10. I see it the other way. I see it at 7th. And Matt actually made a good point this afternoon in our school group chat where he said he was projected the 3rd highest points this week of all the teams, and I had to go fact check him, but he was right. I mean, I see the bright side of the rainbow for Matt here, and so I put him at 7. I feel good about that one. But Drew, I know earlier you mentioned that you had some things you wanted to say about Kale, and so I figured we could hold off till the power rankings when we got here, and you could talk about what you had to say about Kale. I'm just kind of curious what all that was. You're making a fuss throughout the whole show, so.
Well, if he even watches this, he probably won't even watch it because that's how he is and that's how he rolls. So, I mean, if you want to, as we see up here, that's coming up here soon. Technical difficulties, sorry. As you see, I was on a phone call with him on a Monday night for an hour and 40 freaking minutes. And this is no BS. This is a real thing that's happened. He calls me. He texts me after our sevens game. Brian, for people that don't know what sevens are, 7v7 flag football. Says, hey, let's work on a trade for so-and-so. I said, okay. So we're in like 30 minutes just catching up with each other. That's fine, whatever. Go in. So I'm like, all right, quit the BS. Let's get in the trade negotiations. I got stuff I got to do. Let's go. So he offered me a trade. Nada. So he offers me a trade. I'm losing this by a fat mile. But you got to lose trades sometimes to gain up in this league. If you want to compete in this league, it's a hard league to win. That's why I tell people. If you want to win in this league, it's hard to win. So anyways, I'm overpaying some assets, and I don't think I'm winning, but I'm sending it. Send it over to him. Let's just say multiple picks were involved with players. Not getting back many players. We'll say that. Lots of picks involved and all that, and he's like, he offers this trade to me. So I sent it over to him. I said, okay, done deal. 2 minutes later. Oh, I don't know, man. I think I'm still losing this. I said, you're the one that offered me this. What are we doing? I said, I don't know, man. I think we got to get another pick in here. I said, this is how big his brain is. So let's see here. His brain is probably smaller than this can. If maybe probably a little smaller. I'm about I can't even function right now, boys, because I'm about to crash out because I'm still constantly trying to get over. He's offered me 3 trades. I've sent him all 3 trades, and I'm losing by a heavy margin just to try to compete for this freaking goddamn title. And he says, oh, that's still not enough. You're the one offering the trade. So I don't know what you want anymore, dude. I don't know what you want. I'm sorry.
It's a well-deserved crash out there.
Must see
man.
TV, the Beaver.
I'm
So
sorry,
I'm
man.
going on that, Drew. Yeah, got Kale at 9.
He doesn't even. You know what? If I made my rankings on this Monday, and if I would have made them today, I'd probably put him at. Let's see here. I'd probably put him at 11. I'm going to be completely honest with you. I'd put him at 11. No BS. He'd be at 11 because you want to know why? Chris Godwin's out the rest of the season. Deontay Johnson thinks he's him, and he's not. Let's see here. Jamar Chase. And yes, I'm going to say this. Nico Collins is better than Jamar Chase healthy. He is. That's a fact. I don't want to hear it. That's a fact. Go check the numbers and the stats. He's better than him. Go check the numbers, please. He's outscored him every game besides one game until he was hurt. I don't want to hear it. And if you say week 5, I don't want to hear it. He got hurt in the first quarter. And he still had 15 points. So say something about that.
Dang.
And that's my rant for the day, yeah. That's my rant.
Well, I think it worked out perfectly that Jack and Kale moved down together, with Evans and Godwin both being out extended periods of time. And I think we reflected that well in our rankings. And oh, look at that. The bottom, we pretty much all agree with everything. Cam at 11, Brady at 12. I put Ty at 14. I finally jump on the 14 train for Ty, Andy, and you stabbed me I feel like I got stabbed in the back. And you move him up to 13, and now I moved Dade to 13.
It's hard when a guy breaks the record for least amount of points scored in a game in the league's history to not put him down dead last for the weekly. It's hard to do, man.
Ty's team is just they're both so bad. There's no right answer.
I'm so excited for that matchup now that Dade Bird is warning. Pumped.
No, that's seriously gonna be matchup.
I'm gonna be more excited for that matchup than my matchup that week.
It's gonna be matchup of the year.
Yeah. So fantastic stuff as always, boys. Those are our power rankings. That's our show, a long show today. Recapping most recent week of action, week 7. Getting Frank on as our Beavin guest. Stay tuned. Getting that every week. Beav is still fuming as we go through our previews.
I'm so ready. I'm not even joking. I'm so ready for rival week. I cannot wait to beat him by 30. I'm so ready.
There you go.
Because I'm gonna get Nico Collins
back. Are you happy
back.
he's your rival?
Oh, I'm so happy. I cannot wait, bro. And I can't wait to have Nico Collins drop a 40 bomb on him. I'm so ready. And guess what? The memes will be coming like crazy. It's gonna be coming out of a cannon. That's how much they're gonna be coming. There might be 10 memes.
Lot of come.
There you go. Right on cue. Thank you all so much for tuning in. We will catch you next time right here on the Just Beavin Podcast.